Welcome in, everybody. Just got finished watching Alien Earth episode 3, so let's dive right on in. All right, so we're going to do more of a play by play. The rest of the episodes coming on, so be warned, this is a spoiler warning. We will be talking about points and plots that happen throughout this episode, so if you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and watch it. We had ourselves another decent episode. So to start things off, one of the first plot points we have, Nibs, the red-haired synth, is starting to question what is going on, questioning her existence. It's setting up a plot point, I believe, where we are going to have the synths going against the humans for Prodigy, Weyland-Yutani, possible other corporations, especially with, what do they call him, the boy genius or whatever, the lead scientist for Prodigy. Man, I hate that guy. He's doing a great job in his role for this show, but I cannot wait for his demise. So as the episode goes on, we follow Wendy, Marcy, as her real name is looking for her brother, because at the end of episode 2, the xenomorph captures her brother and brings him down to the lower levels, and she's chasing an alien. We get a very cool scene of where the alien traps the brother in a trailer. Wendy goes to save him. It looks like the alien was setting it up as a trap. You can almost hear him screaming in the distance, "It's a trap, leave." And then we get a pretty cool stalking scene where the xenomorph looks like it's coming to attack the two of them. Wendy's ready to fight, with the paper cutter she tore off and was wearing like a sword on her back. Crawls up onto the top of this trailer. Wendy stabs it. We finally get the acid blood reveal. A lot of people were wondering, where was the acid blood? Well, they waited to show it off in a cool little battle. It starts to battle the xenomorph after her brother gets wrapped up by the tail, thrown out of the trailer. We have a cool little fight scene. It's pretty quick. The Xeno was about to kill the brother with its inner mouth, like it did before previously when he saw it attack the soldiers. And we get a cool scene of Wendy stabbing it with a hook and stopping it from attacking her brother. They go underneath this garage door into this dark lit room. We don't see the fight happen, which is kind of didn't like that. Her brother finally hotwires the door that he tried to close on the alien's head and kill it. Wendy defeats the xenomorph. Wendy is down for the count. She's been damaged. So the rest of this episode revolves around them going back to Prodigy. But before that happens, we do have a pretty cool scene with Morrow, the cyborg, that started all this stuff from crashing the ship. Talking to two of the other synths, I can't remember their name. It's kind of hard to keep track of all the names in here. And he's trying to ask some questions because one of the synths says they have parents. And so he questions like, well, when is a machine not a machine? And gets that into this kid's head. We have Kirsch, played by Timothy Oliphant, come up, starts talking to Morrow. It's pretty cool. This is all going around while they're around the facehugger eggs. While Kirsch is, talking to Morrow, he tells him that, if he's not careful, he's going to be the one that's next, as they're hinting to, so like the facehuggers, like the embryos inside other people. He's talking about Weyland-Yutani, taking full control of him. Kind of a cool scene. It's kind of funny for those who've watched Justified many years ago. Timothy Oliphant feels like he's playing his character from Justified in that. So fast forward, we now get back to the planet that Prodigy is on. Wendy is undergoing repair, whatever they have to do to bring her back. Lead scientist is upset, trying to figure out, is he able to talk to her? And one of the doctors or whoever who's repairing Wendy is all upset. And we start to have conflict within Prodigy because they think that they shouldn't have put, kids in that situation. They weren't ready yet. The big thing is Prodigy has collected the specimens from the ship. They brought them to their research facility, and this is where the rest of the episode, this episode slowed down quite a bit. Not as good as the first two episodes, but the lore, talking about the different specimens, learning about the different specimens, I find fascinating because I find the lore in the alien universe very cool. The genius scientist boy goes into the lab looking at the xenomorph eggs, and Timothy Oliphant stops him from going too close to the egg, because when a human gets too close to the eggs, the facehuggers want to come out and lay their embryos. And so I thought that scene was very cool. They teased the facehugger so much in this episode. It's like, man, I want to see some facehugger action, and we're not getting it yet. I'm sure we will eventually. There's plot points of Morrow implanting something on one of the synths and starts talking to him in his head, and I'm pretty sure that's how he's going to be able to infiltrate the facility, because Yutani wants her specimens back because it's a lot of money. The boy scientist says that too. Trillions, billions of dollars worth of specimens. Why not take them and use them so they can make money? Because, like I said, money makes the world go round. We do have some other side plots. One of the synths is asking the lead scientist, why is Wendy his favorite? And she's kind of jealous. Not liking where they're going. I'm a little nervous. They are starting to put a little too many side plots that are going to be in the show. We only have 8 episodes. We're ready through 3. And now it seems like we're getting a little too many storylines that are starting to come to fruition. So it looks like we're going to have synth and synth battles, possibly. Synth that's trying to become the favorite of the boy genius is trying to get his approval. Gonna probably have her do something that's going to maybe unleash one of these face huggers later in the series. But as we go on, Marcy's brother is in surgery, it looks like, and then they start removing some organs and he's looking at stuff and they have him in this tube and you're like, what is going on? Why are some of his organs removed? What are they doing? It's revealed at the end they are dissecting one of the face huggers in a pretty cool scene where the synths are doing some research and cutting open the egg trying to get facehugger out. They remove the embryo from the facehugger, which we've never really seen before, I don't believe, in any of the Alien films. So this was a pretty cool scene, gets pretty detailed. And then what do they do? Kirsch gives the embryo to the mad scientist. And then it looks like what they're going to be doing is using Marcy's brother as an experiment to see how the xenomorphs function. How do they procreate? And this is going to lead to probably a big finale of Wendy going against Prodigy and fighting Prodigy for what they do to her brother, because it doesn't look like he's going to last throughout the season. Kind of crazy ending. Kicked it off or finished it off with Metallica. Thought that was really cool. Anytime you put Metallica into something, I'm on board. But overall, I thought this episode was a little bit weaker than the premiere. A lot of exposition, a lot of talking, slower paced after we get the Xenomorph fight, and it's more lore building. Gets me a little nervous because, again, only 8 episodes. I've complained about it once, I'll complain about it again. Short seasons, you do not have time to be slowing down like this and continually doing world building. Some of the side plots I'm not interested in. I'm not really interested in this AI versus like humanity thing that they got going on. It's been in every Alien movie. Like, the synths are usually the evil ones, and it looks like they're kind of switching it around. Like, no, it's actually the humans are the evil ones. The synths are gonna be our good guys. Don't know where we're going from here. And then also at the end of this episode, it looks like Wendy somehow has a connection to the aliens and the pain that they feel. So I don't know where that storyline's gonna end up taking us. There's a lot of stuff coming at us, and I'm just nervous they're not gonna be able to flesh everything out. And we've had issues with this with shows in the past, so not gonna go down that road. But overall, still a decent episode, much slower. I gave the premiere episodes 1 and 2 a 7 out of 10 upon rewatching and thinking about it. That was way too low of a score. I'm going to go ahead and bump that up to an 8 out of 10. This episode, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 6 out of 10. Started off great with the fight, slowed down a lot. Didn't like some of the storylines that are getting introduced, making me a little worried for about where the future of this season is going to go. But overall, it was better than average television. A little bit boring compared to the premiere, but still good. I enjoyed it nonetheless because I like the lore. Thank you all for tuning in for this episode of Coda's Code. We will be doing weekly reviews for each episode of Alien Earth. Crazy to say, we are almost already halfway through. Come next week, we'll be on episode 4 out of 8. If you saw episode 3, what did you think? Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like the content, leave a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you're not followed. Hey, a lot of you are watching but aren't subscribing. Come on, there's plenty of room in the cove for everybody. Be a friend, tell a friend. Come on down to the cove because the water is fine.